In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to thin Fine Paints of Europe Oil Undercoat Primer to spray with your 3M Accuspray. Now, Fine Paints of Europe is an amazing paint line, okay? This primer is probably the very best primer that I have ever tried. And why I love this primer so much is you can actually get this primer tinted to the exact color of paint that you are going to paint your piece, even black, okay? They can tint this primer black. It's the only primer I know of that you can actually do that with. Now it is oil-based, so you do have to thin it with mineral spirits. Now when I'm using Fine Paints of Europe, I like to use their mineral spirits as well. Okay, so it comes from the same line. And the recoat time on this, it is suggested on the can that recoat is 24 hours. Now, I have recoated in less than 24 hours. Just give a light sand in between the coats just to make sure that everything is smooth. But it's dry to the touch in about 4 hours. So the pro of this particular primer, if I'm gonna powder glaze this piece of furniture, right? So I'm going to paint it the same exact color as the paint. I'm going to prime it the same color so that if I am removing powder glaze and I happen to go through the paint, the primer is going to be the same color, which is a great option to have. Honestly, the only downside to this primer is the recoat time, you know, because it does take a little bit longer. You're going to be blown away when you see this color. It's crazy. So that's our color, bright blue. Okay, let me get my cup. I forgot it over here on the other side. Okay, we're going to be using the ratio, the 8:1 ratio. And we're actually going to put in a little more than 20%. This primer is going to feel really, really thin to you once you get the mineral spirits in, but don't worry, it sprays beautifully. Just again mentioning that this is oil-based, so cleanup is going to have to be with mineral spirits on your equipment, okay? When I do an oil-based, to be honest with you, the nozzle, which we're going to use the 1.8 nozzle to spray this, I just throw it away after the use. I do not clean out the nozzles after I've sprayed oil-based. It's easier, you know. I'm going to mix up enough to get 2 coats. I'm going to go up to the 5. So I'm going to put the primer into the first 5, and then I'm going to put in the mineral spirits to the third 5, and then I'm going to give it a little extra pinch. Sure that is going to give us enough, I hope. Yep. All right, I'm going to let this drain out really well because I'm actually going to use this cup for the mineral spirits. I am absolutely convinced that a man designed these types of cans. I'm sure there's a logical reason why, these cans are made this way, but they never want to pour right. So what I'm gonna do is I am going to put this cup on the lid here and do it over. See, it's still leaked. A man definitely designed this. Okay, we're gonna go all the way to the third line. And then I'm just gonna do a little bit more. Okay. Let me get this cleaned up. I brought the shop towels over for a reason, for this particular reason, because I knew that this would do that. Let me just get this, off this piece of furniture here as I trip and fall. See, everybody's so afraid to do live video. Stuff like that happens on video, right? We're not gonna edit that out because it's real life. Let me get my trusty hammer. Just get this lid back on. Okay, we'll go ahead and get this mixed up, and I will show you the consistency. Let me come in a little closer. Oh, nothing wants to work right today. Now it takes a little bit longer for this to get incorporated. Mention it again. We're going to spray this primer with the 1.8 nozzle, and our pressure is going to be about between 20 and 25 when we spray this. We really want a lot of air. Making sure to scrape the bottom. Okay, so you can see this is pretty thin. Okay, pretty thin. It's going to thicken up a little bit as it sits while I get ready, but that's how you thin the Fine Paints of Europe Oil Undercoat Primer for your 3M Accuspray. Okay, I'm so excited to show you guys this. We are doing Fine Paints of Europe Oil Undercoat Primer today. There's a reason why this stuff is called the best primer in the world. It sprays beautifully. I can't wait for you to see this. So the first thing we're gonna do is we've adjusted the air already, and we're gonna go ahead and get our custom tinted primer on. This is thin 20% with mineral spirits here. Now you're gonna notice that I'm moving fairly fast. However, I am going to cross hatch this.
because it is an oil based and it's going to stay open longer. I want to make sure that I've got a um, thin coverage, but coverage in both directions, if that makes sense. Look how beautiful the side of that is when I turn it. This primer really does spray beautifully. It's in the 1.8. You just want to make sure you don't get it too thin. So that's why the printable says between 20 and 30, because some colors you're going to need to put more mineral spirits in than others. Absolutely gorgeous. So this will be about 4 hours until we can touch it and move it around, and 24 hours on a recoat.